All right, so in this video I am basically just going to do a short brief, okay, not more than 18 minutes, about the Horizon protocol. Now I know that right now there are so many projects saying that they are blockchain projects, they are crypto projects, they are offering this, they are offering that. But what I just need you to do is just pay attention for a while, okay? And I will just do a breakdown, not trying to discredit anybody or discredit any other project, but particularly talking about Horizon project. Now, the first thing I want you to know is that Horizon is based on an established model, okay, a model that has been proven, and that model is called POL. So I'm just going to come to Google, okay, and I want to search. I want to say, okay, look at the, it's already there. Explain. This is Google, okay. Explain protocol owned liquidity and how it is different from DeFi 1.0 projects. Okay, and whether it solves um durability and project lifespan issues. Okay, let me know all the issues it solves that buffeted DeFi 1.0. So this question I'm asking Google, all right? So let's just do a small read. Now, because again, many people who have gone to go and look at Horizon project, when they go, part of the thing they say is that, oh, the person that is holding the highest wallet is going to rock pull the project, because they don't understand what protocol owned liquidity is. They don't understand how it works, so they don't even know how to check it. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand is that protocol owned liquidity is a DeFi treasury strategy. As you can see, you say the protocol owns its assets or its liquidity positions that make trading its own token possible. So the protocol can trade its own tokens, meaning the protocol, the smart contract, can buy tokens and sell tokens by itself. Now, usually in DeFi 1.0, it is what they call liquidity providers, whales, that will come buy the token. When the price goes up, they sell and they make profits. Do you understand? They sell and they make profits. In DeFi 2.0, in protocol owned liquidity, okay, and I'm not the one calling it DeFi 2.0, so look at it here. Okay, it says POL acts as the core innovation of DeFi 2.0. So many crypto experts don't even know what DeFi 2.0 is. They have not even seen any project, because today in the blockchain, most of us are only used to making money on pump and dump. That is what we know. Okay, somebody gives us a signal, we buy a token, we hold it. If the price pumps based on speculation, we sell and we make money if we are able to sell fast enough before the thing dumps. Okay, that is how all these projects, that's how we've been making money on the blockchain. Everything is about pump and dump. If you have a fast finger and you have some good capital, you can make a lot of money with pump and dump. The projects are still on the blockchain. Okay, the pump and dump projects, they are not going anywhere. They are on the blockchain. When you go, you will see things like Pepe, you will see things like Shiba Inu. All those projects are still on the blockchain. They did not go anywhere. The only problem is, it is a what? Pump and dump. We put money, it rise. Everybody, all the liquidity providers will remove their money, it will crash. So now let me continue. So here in liquidity, in this protocol on liquidity, the first thing you've realized is that the protocol can can own its assets. It can open liquidity positions, it can trade its own token rather than renting liquidity from a third-party provider. POL is designed to create a permanent, sustainable liquidity base. Listen to that. Permanent, sustainable liquidity base that is not reliant on external short-term incentivization. Because in pump and dump projects, it's short-term incentivization. Me and you start a project. I ask you that to bring money, you put in $9 million. When your $9 million is $16 million, are you going to leave it in my system? Are you going to leave it in my project, or are you going to take it out? Ideally, you want to take it out so that you can cash out and you can make profit. So even if you say you are going to keep $1 million inside the system, okay, you are still taking out over $15 million. So the project, the price will crash. Okay, that's basically what happens. That's what you call rented liquidity, mercenary capital. So POL acts as the core innovation aimed at addressing mercenary capital problem, okay, that led to what? High volatility. Why does price crash, go up and come down in DeFi 1.0? Okay, because of what? Mercenary capital. You put the capital, the price rise. You remove the capital, the price crash. So the influx and outflux of capital depends. That's what creates volatility. But in DeFi 2.0, the core innovation is called what? Protocol owned liquidity. Now you may be listening to me, I don't even know whether you've heard about protocol owned liquidity before. Okay, because even some very top crypto people have not heard about it because it's not popular. They don't even know how it works. Okay, the next thing we want to talk about here is, how does it differ from DeFi 1.0 projects? Number one is liquidity ownership. So in DeFi 1.0, liquidity is owned by what? Third party participants, okay, who provide the liquidity in exchange for high token rewards and often leave when the better yields arise, okay, elsewhere. So if they see another better opportunity, another better project where their money will work better, they will exit the project. Okay, so in POL, the protocol treasury accumulates liquidity positions through direct ownership, so it owns the liquidity. Number two, acquisition mechanism. In DeFi 1.0, DeFi 1.0 uses liquidity mining. That's how you reward liquidity providers. POL uses what they call bonding mechanism, where the protocol offers to sell its own native tokens at a discount, typically 5 to 10%, in exchange for other assets or liquidity provider tokens. Okay, example, bonding, DAI, OHM, or OHM. Okay, now basically OHM is the token for Olympus DAO. They are the ones that actually introduced this protocol on liquidity. Sustainability and fees. Now take note, in POL system there is sustainability because nobody can rock pull the project. Okay, the project is not being rock pulled. The project, the money, the capital, the liquidity that is used to start the project is put into the project as a base. That is what Olympus DAO innovated, so it is able to be more sustainable. So you say in DeFi 1.0, liquidity providers, okay, rewards, which is inflation, often cause high sell pressure. So when liquidity providers bring money, the price goes up. When the price goes up, there's sell pressure. But in POL, the treasury collects all the trading fees generated by its pools, by its liquidity pools, allowing them to reinvest and strengthen the treasury. Now, duration. POL 1.0 liquidity is temporary and rented. But so DeFi 1.0 liquidity is temporary and rented. But in POL, protocol on liquidity is permanent, is long lasting, okay, lasting beyond the life of the high yield incentive. Okay, so in POL, the liquidity is permanent, it lasts beyond the life of the high yield incentive. So even after the high yield is no longer there, for example, when Olympus DAO started, Olympus DAO was offering 100,000% APY, meaning if you put $1,000, you could quickly make $100,000. In fact, you could almost make $1 million in just the first year of Olympus DAO starting. Yes, you can make $1 million with just $1,000. That's what you call 100,000% return on investment, or 100,000% APY, annual percentage yield. Okay, so but this in but Olympus DAO is still existing today. So you see, even now that they don't have high yield incentive, in other words, their incentive is no longer 100,000%. Okay, their incentive is now much lower. I think it's like 200% APY right now. Yet the platform is still paying. The platform still exists. Why? Because their liquidity is permanent. So Olympus DAO is still on the blockchain. If you go to, what do you call it, if you go to CoinMarketCap and check for them, you will see them. Go to Cetic, check for them, you will see them. They are still on the blockchain. All right, so this is after 4 years and 10 months. They are still operating. I was looking at them 2 or 3 days ago. Their transaction volume in the last 3 days, that 3 days, their 7 days transaction volume, as at the last 3 days that I check, was over $1 billion. You can go and check, was more than $1 billion in transaction volume. So you see, there's still a lot of transactions on the platform. People are cashing out, people are withdrawing their tokens and converting it and swapping it. Okay, and they are making money from transaction fees. Okay, so it's a system that is still working. People are still getting paid. All right, and I'm going to talk very soon about how you make money on a POL project. But for now, I just want to explain POL because this is the foundation, the foundation technology with which Orizon is created. And I want to just show you here that POL is not something new. POL is not invented by Orizon. POL was invented by Olympus DAO. Okay, they are the ones that innovated it, and it was called the backbone of DeFi 2.0. So DeFi 2.0 projects have POL as the backbone. DeFi 1.0 has pump and dump as the backbone. We bring money, the price rise. When we remove, the price crash. That's 1.0. In protocol owned liquidity, the protocol owns the liquidity. The money is held in a smart contract. Is operated by what's what they call the DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization run by smart contracts. That is what controls how the money is used. That's what controls the money into buying its assets and selling its assets. Okay, buying its own token, selling its own token. Okay, depending on the use case. So now, permanent liquidity base, reduce sell pressure, as you can see. So we've noticed that duration is not an issue here in with POL project. Liquidity is permanent and it lasts beyond the life of the high yield incentive. So I said, even after the platform is no longer paying high incentive. Okay, like Olympus DAO is no longer paying high incentive, but the platform is still exists and people are still earning on the current incentives that the platform is generating. Okay, good. So duration is a big deal. POL projects last long. Good. Now, does the POL solve durability and project lifespan issues? What is the answer? You say yes. POL significantly improves long-term durability. It does not eliminate all risk, but it does what? Improve long-term durability. Permanent liquidity base, because the POL, because the protocol owns the liquidity, it is not subject to sudden capital flight, meaning you cannot just pull your capital. Okay, because the capital belongs to the liquidity, to the protocol, sorry. So it is not subject to what? Sudden capital flight during bear markets. Okay, providing a reliable exit and entry point for users. So because of this, because there is no sudden capital exit, because there's no sudden capital flight, the liquidity that backs the project does not disappear all of a sudden. Okay, the price is more durable, the price is more maintained. Therefore, the time you are entering and the time you're selling, you will have good. It's not the one that you go and buy something, it was $100 per unit. When you now come to sell, you are selling at 0.00005 per unit. Do you understand? $0.005 per unit. That's what happens in bump and dump. The price can crash to 0.00000 overnight. The liquidity can disappear and the price will crash dramatically, that there will be nothing to withdraw. Even if you withdraw, you will not even get up to $10. Meanwhile, you put $1,000. Good. That's the problem with those DeFi 1.0 projects. So here there's what? Permanent utility base, that even in bear markets, when the market is low, okay, the price is not over affected. Number two, reduce sell pressure. By reducing the need for constant high emission liquidity mining rewards, protocol can slow down the inflationary devaluation of their tokens. Okay, you see that? Number two, increase treasury reliance. POL converts liquidity from a recurring expense into what? Balance sheet assets. Now, what are the issues that POL solves in DeFi 1.0? Number one, mercenary capital. The liquidity providers exit when the rewards drop. Okay, in DeFi 1.0, causing what? Liquidity crashes, price crashes. In DeFi 2.0, the protocol owns the liquidity, keeping it permanent and stable. Number two, high inflation. High token emissions to pay for liquidity providers decrease token value. In DeFi 2.0, reduce reliance on emission. It does what? It lowers inflation. So inflation is higher on what? Liquidity on DeFi 1.0. Inflation is lower on what? DeFi 2.0. Are you listening? Fee leakage. Trading fees go to third-party liquidity providers in DeFi 1.0, but in DeFi 2.0, the fees go to protocol treasury, boosting what? Sustainability. So the protocol now has more money in its internal treasury that is controlled by the smart contract, or the DAO, okay? The decentralized autonomous organization. Number the next one, impermanent loss. Liquidity providers face high risks during volatility, leading to departures. Protocol manages in DeFi 2.0, protocol manages risk, can use treasury to ensure or offset. Now, low capital efficiency. Rented capital is costly and often unproductive. That's DeFi 1.0. DeFi 2.0, treasury backed mechanism provide higher liquidity. Okay, good. Now, look at the summary of risks. What are the risks? Because everything has risk. What are the risks of a PLL project? Okay, over dilution. You say if the bonds are mispriced, if you don't price the bond, and right now you don't understand what bonds are, but don't worry. For now, we just want to talk about the core technology. I will do another video where I talk about the bonds, and I'll break down the kind of bond that Orizon has and how it works. But they say if the bonds are mispriced, the protocol might over dilute its native token. Treasury. If the treasury is heavy invested in its own token, it may suffer during a downturn, because the treasury is not supposed to be holding only its token. The treasury is supposed to hold at least, maybe maximum 50% of his token, or 80% of his token. The treasury has more power when the treasury is holding stable assets. Stable assets mean USDT, USDC, like stable assets. The more stable assets the treasury has, the more effective the treasury will be. Number three, active management. So the POL has requires what they call active management. It's called what they call active governance, to decide how to manage the treasury effectively. Okay, and by the way, on all the scores that Cetic scored, um Orizon, he scored Orizon 96% on governance, and I will not have time for that in this video. The purpose of this video is just to first establish the foundation concept upon which Orizon is created. Okay, the difference between the what we know about POL and what Orizon has done is that Orizon has an AI driven DAO. Okay, DAO, a DAO, AI driven DAO, meaning an AI driven decentralized autonomous organization, an AI driven financial engine. That's the difference. It's AI driven. And when you say AI driven, it's not theory AI, because many people are just talking AI and it's not AI. They are just using AI as a buzzword to get people to run around them. This one, what do you call it? Cetic has spotlighted them as an AI innovator. Let me show you that while we are just here before we go. So if you go to cetic.com, and then we go to, let me come here. Okay, no, Skynet rating. Come to Skynet rating, come to search. Okay, just search for Horizon. It is already on the search. I'm just going to click on it. So you see that there are a what? Spotlight Web3 AI Innovator. If you go down, look at what is written concerning them. I'm looking for the summary description about them. Okay, I think it's not showing on this view. I think it's on computer view. Anyway, that's fine. But the bottom line here is if you come here, click on Spotlight Web3 AI Innovator, you see that they are number 9. Okay, they are number 9 on the list. Okay, they are number 9. In other words, they are among the top 10 Web3 AI innovators. So when they say the protocol is AI driven, it is they are not, this is not English language or trying to just use AI as another buzzword. CETIC has audited them, and CETIC is saying that it's not is saying CETIC has awarded them as highlighted them as one of the top 10 AI innovators on the planet on BSC chain right now. And that is an amazing fact. Okay, and when you now come to somewhere like maybe Coin Market Cap, and you look at how their project has done on Coin Market Cap, like when you look at how the project has done. Okay, let's go to Horizon on Coin Market Cap. Okay, if you come here and look at the price volatility, look at how the price has been for the last 1 year. Look at the price volatility. Are you seeing how the price is? The price has been stable. This is the work of the AI governance. Remember, in the what we read in the POL, it requires active governance. Active governance of how you regulate the system. Okay, how you regulate the treasury in the use of the resources in the treasury. It is that will determine how how you will be able to manage resources, so that the token does not become deflated, and you don't also create overinflation. Now the AI governance system that Horizon has introduced, look at the result of it. Look at the price. The price has been stable, just going between 56, 58, 54, 56, like that. It's just ranging. Okay, and they have mechanisms that we are going to discuss later, not in this video. The last thing I want to share with you is how to identify a POL project, in terms of if you come here. For example, if I come here now and go down, I want to look for holders. Okay, holders, because some people don't understand. They will say somebody can rock pull the project because they don't understand that the project is held in a smart contract or in smart contracts, and that it is called a treasury. So what you're going to do, you need, first of all, you need to go to the blockchain explorer. In this case is Binance Explorer. So I'm going to come here. Okay, the Binance chain explorer, Binance scan, BSC scan. So I'm going to come here, and it's going to open the Ori. Okay, now if you don't want to be scammed, be wary of projects that you do not know the holders. Any project where, even though they show you smart contract, you cannot see the holders on that project, you cannot find your own wallet on that project, be very careful, because that is potentially a scam, because you cannot find your wallet on the blockchain. It could be a one wallet system, and there are many projects that have flashed. They say it's blockchain projects, they say it is smart contract driven, blah blah blah, but people have lost money. Why? Because somebody can create a smart contract driven system that is running on one wallet, and everybody's transaction is taking place in that one wallet, and the developers are the ones that have access to that wallet, and they can disappear any day with that money. Now, so I'm here now. When you come to his place now, this is the Ori, is showing you Ori. Okay, so this is the what do you call it, the project on the BSC chain. I now want to come here and do what? I want to show you how to identify a project that is a what? A POL project. You come to holders. Now, if you come to holders, you will notice something. On the first 9 wallets here, you notice that there's a contract, there's a document in front. If you click on that document, it says contract. From number 10, you notice that that contract does not exist. So the first 10 wallets you are seeing there, if you scroll, look at it, 57%. So 57% of the holding, okay, the liquidity, 57% of the liquidity is held where? Is held in the smart contracts. Are you understanding? Remember, the treasury is controlled by what? The smart contract. So is held in the smart contract. So you check all of them, is showing what? Smart contract, smart contract, smart contract, smart contract number 9. So all this money, okay, top 9 wallets are all held where? In the smart contract. The person with the highest holding right now on this project, which is number 10, is holding just 0.0666%. And if he removes his money, the system will not notice. Are you getting the difference? If he removes his 0.0666% in a project where 95% of the liquidity is held down in the treasury run by the smart contract, nobody will notice. So that is the idea. Time will fail me to go back to Cetic and show you one or two things, because I would have loved to show you on Cetic here one or two things, but we'll do that in another video. Okay, on this video I just wanted to introduce you to DeFi 2.0. Okay, what it is, the backbone of DeFi 2.0, what POL is, how POL works, and how to identify a project where the liquidity is held in a smart contract. And why do they call it a protocol? It's not because it has a smart contract. Everything on the blockchain is running with smart contracts. Okay, why it is called a smart contract is because it is a group, not just one contract, multiple contracts working together. When Olympus DAO started, I think Olympus DAO had like 30 smart contracts. Okay, and other people have come that have done the POL model. Okay, but Orizon has 138 smart contracts as at present. 138 smart contracts. So you need to understand what a POL is. Go and do your own research, check it, read up on it, and see why and how it works. So Orizon is not saying we are the one that introduced POL. No, they did not. It was introduced and innovated by Olympus DAO. But the big difference that they have brought to the picture is better regulation, better organization, better governance. Remember, what can make the project a POL project to fail? And when you say fail, not that the project is no longer on the blockchain. No, it will be on the blockchain. But fail means that the price of the token has become over diluted and has become worthless. The price of the token becomes over diluted and becomes worthless. Now that can happen because of wrong governance. And what's their name? Orizon scores 96% on the scoring of Cetic on governance. Let me just show you that, and I will end this video here. Okay, scroll down, just look at it here. Governance, just click on governance. Governance, okay, yeah, okay, did not appear. Let me scroll down. You should be able to see it down. Operational resilience, governance strength. Look at it. Look at their governance strength. Okay, so governance strength. This, remember, this 94% is where is held where? In the treasury. I hope you understand that. Okay. All right. So the report here is compressed. It's not showing the specific rating that they are rated in the area of governance. Is not showing it. It's not. Okay, so you may need to check your computer and you see that their governance is 96%. Okay, all right. For those of us who think they are ready. By the way, how do you make money on Olympus DAO? How do you make money on Orizon? How do you make money on POL projects? You make money by staking. You stake, the token is minted. Okay, and every day you are minting and you're compounding. if you want to do compounding, you can do the one that is not compounding. But if you want to do compounding, you want to stick at a compounding ratio, you stick. And Olympus now started with 100,000% APY, but um Orizon started with 1,700% APY. Orizon is right now 1,003 to 1,000, around 1,400 APY right now. Okay, so meaning if you put down any amount for a year, the value you would have minted for you would be almost times 3 of, no, times 13 of your money in 1 year. In 6 months, will be like times 3 or times 4 of your money, times 3 actually of your money. Okay, so and then remember, it is paying you in the token, and then you now take the token and you convert it back to USDT, which is why part of what Horizon is trying to do is to keep the price stable through effective governance so that it can avoid volatility, and that is what POLs are known for. But Origin is bringing AI to try to regulate the price and keep the price better. Are you getting it? All right. If you want to get started, reach out to me. Let us talk. And if you have any other question, reach out to me. Thank you.